What's up, A Pepperoni? All right, let's just do this. Welcome to the Blue Reef Podcast, episode number 260. I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kels. This is our video game podcast. We go live on youtube.com/at Blue Rupees every Tuesday. It's not really been that way recently, but we'll see. Yeah, well, every other time it is. I was going to say that I was supposed to be gone yet again next week, but I'm gonna post. I'm like 95% probably gonna to cancel what I had for tomorrow. In pretty solid news, famous cat on here, Tess. Uh, we took her to the vet on Monday for an all day thing because her blood sugar, as I mentioned, was like super high. Now it was like super low. So she swung from a 350 blood sugar, which is like 100 supposed to be normal, to like 50, which was a massive swing. But that's actually good news because they said that that means she's like 50% chance of falling into remission now. So yeah, so they have us dropping her back down to 2 milliliters of insulin per day. They're gonna check her out next week. And then if it's good, she's off now. She's no more insulin. She's no longer diabetic, and she's back at it. And she gained a pound, so she's doing pretty good. Yeah, found the cure. But because of that, I was gonna go on another camping trip next week. But I'm like, okay, well, her appointment falls on that day, and I was already kind of tired. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good. I'm pretty tapped. That was 13 days. And I calculated, then I recalculated after I made the post. I drove 2,000 miles in the span of 13 days, which is and that was like not every day being mobile either, which was a lot. Most of it, 1,000 of those miles have been the last from Sunday to Monday. When I was driving from Reno back to home, happened to be in Las Vegas, right, like the exact moment that it broke the record high heat in Las Vegas, 120 degrees. It's sweltering out there, dude. I think Death Valley that day was 129. The record being 134 degrees, so it was nuts. So shout outs if you're out there. It's rough. Very hot. Where you guys at? Right now it's 85. High was 90, but I know it was hitting the hundreds last week. Where I was at in Reno was hitting 100. In Oregon, it was great. Oregon was 70 degrees, dude. It was nice. What's heat at with you guys right now? Yeah, your favorite, right? It's 100 in Oregon, I'm pretty sure. It depends on where. Um, I was in a higher elevation, so mornings were like a solid 40 to 50 degrees still. So, uh, I where I was at, David, I think would have been like literally like your perfect area to like. It was, it was 10 degrees lower than wherever it was surrounding, which is already lower than usual. So high was 70. It didn't get higher than 70. Um, in the mornings were solid 40 to 50. Um, it was a solid maybe an hour to decent civilization. Like there were like some like mom and pop shops here or there, but like from like a even like not a city to like a town, about an hour. Um, to get to where you were versus like the main road was 20 to 30 minutes. So it was out of the way of everything. No, like nothing bugging you, nothing like you could see everything great. It was exactly what you wanted, which is away from everyone. But you would think there's no connection. There was like a connection. Oh yeah, just in terms of internet, yeah, you're not getting internet out there, but I mean, you can figure something out. I'm sure if David was like dedicated enough, Starlink, yeah, you get Starlink. There you go. Would you just go no internet at all versus Starlink? let's say you had to be, but let's say there's only two options, either internet or Starlink. Oh, is there
I
no?
mean,
Oh,
if
cool. There was no audio for you guys. Now there is.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I was talking most of it. David, would you have internet or Starlink? If
uh,
yeah, could you have no internet or Starlink?
no internet.
Huh. All right, that's fair. I understand. You don't like Elon Musk.
No, I
Um,
don't like clowns that try to take credit for other people's work while then simultaneously setting their companies on fire, propagating. Oh, look what a genius I am.
yeah, that's fair. I got the whole fit at Becky. I got the shorts too. Rocking it, dude.
Where's the hat?
I need to
Like
get
the
a
Magikarp
hat.
beanie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should. But yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna start the podcast over. I was talking a lot. Whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so I was doing that. I'll just go through all my stuff where I guess. So, first thing on the agenda, land to Portland. I went to Finlay hats because I collect a lot of those. Shout out to them; they were super cool. Got myself one there, and then went straight to Bend. You know, it doesn't quite settle in. You're going to Blockbuster until you're pulling around the corner. And then like we're pulling around the corner and like I see it like just in the distance. I see like the sign, and I just start giggling like a fucking crazy man and start going, "Holy shit, it's not a meme!" And my girlfriend's like, "What? Yeah, like you were busy."
It's
And I started-
real.
yeah, I just couldn't believe it. Like it's so fucking weird. And it's been a long time since I've been so like overwhelmed with like I was overstimulated by walking in and just like what the fuck, that I don't believe I got quite. I didn't really get to experience it because I was like the hyperest ADHD overstimulated person I've ever been. Where it's like I look for 2 seconds, I move and I like wait, hold on, I'm gonna do that, and then I stop moving over there. I started like just like almost running in circles.
Was it busy or anything?
No, not
like,
too.
whenever
No,
you
it's like I mean, it's what you'd expect. Like I mean, yeah, go back, reach in your mind and see if you can remember how packed you might imagine a Blockbuster be.
Well, I'm just imagining it being like more of a spectacle than
So-
anything, you know.
Right. So as we were there, at least like two other families pulled up there to take pictures outside and come inside. And then we had gotten food from a fast food place across the street the next day. And I was looking at the Blockbuster across the street, and yeah, like two more families pulled up there. And I talked to the guy in the front, and he's like, "Yeah, this place survives off of like merch right now. Like it's like a lot of people are coming in and just like doing that stuff, which is cool. And they're surviving off of it, obviously. But yeah, like it's definitely like a tourist stop, for sure. But like it's decent. Like honestly, part of me would probably ditch a streaming service, and just hold on to a, especially now, right? Because fuck, the prices keep. Game Pass, I don't know if we're gonna talk about that, but Game Pass is hiking up in price to $23 a month.
And they're well, yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah. But especially with how bad that is. Rentals there, it was like I forget, it was like a membership still, like per month, and you could pull that much out. Some movies were like $1 just to rent for the night.
Oh, damn.
Shout outs to it. It was so funny. 2 days after I had left, I follow this YouTube channel, this Studio Review, REVUE. Shout outs to them, and that channel should be a lot bigger than it is. I have a feeling it'll blow up someday because dude puts out high quality stuff. He just does like the most like random stuff. He's like, one of his videos recently was like, he wanted to go see how authentic the Outback Steakhouse was in Australia. He did the one video he went viral for was he ate Taco Bell every day for 30 days to see how that went.
Okay. Yeah.
He actually lost weight. What's another one that he's done? He tried to eat Waffle House with the Jonas Brothers, and he went through this whole ordeal of trying to like rent out like a billboard sign and see them at a show. He's a great channel. There's a Blockbuster. The last Blockbuster's in Oregon. That's the last one. That's kind of what they make their whole shtick of. But he had gone there. He like 2 days after I had left, it showed the video of I flew across the country to go to the last Blockbuster. But he did it in a way that was cheesy, but I thought was super cool. He went there and he made it a whole night of exactly what he would do. when he was the age of Blockbuster when it was around. So he went to a thrift store, bought clothes that he would wear back then. He went to a roller rink. He went inside the Blockbuster, got a movie. He went to Space Jam, got some candy, popcorn. Which, by the way, and then he went to Pizza Hut and got himself a pizza and a soda. And that was like his
You
night.
can get like Mario 64 or something.
Yeah, I wish, right, at that point. But he did all that, and to his credit, he's like, for me to go to Blockbuster, rent a movie, get a candy, get some popcorn, get a pizza, get a soda, $10. That's a hell of a night, right? Like that's a solid ass price for that kind of stuff. So
That's just the price of a ticket at a theater if you're going to a fucking theater.
like a matinee.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you're fucking renting, that's like not even a month of ad free on any streaming service.
Yep. Hey, Ronnie, now you didn't know there was in Bend, Oregon. That's where the last Blockbuster is. You definitely go there if you can. It's super cool. But
Up
yeah,
until like a few years ago, I think 2-3 years ago, like right before COVID, we had still Family Video here in the town that I live in, and that was super nice. I used them all the time.
Yeah.
I think the last game I rented there was like Watchdog Legion.
so
And
that was recent.
Yeah, so it was like one of those things. Like, yeah, I don't want to buy this game, but morbidly curious enough. Hey, we have a rental store. I can just go rent that shit.
But even so,
they're
like
all
it
gone
gives
now.
you a little reason to keep. So even like Game Pass and any subscription service, there's just so much. We talk about this a lot, right? So much of choice that you don't feel obligated to sit through it. But like if you go to a store and physically pick a game, you're gonna try it out.
Yeah, for me, it's one of those things. It's not necessarily that I don't know that it's on there, but it's like it's not there in front of you. It's not tangible, like you said. It's not something that you're picking up at the store, seeing, making that decision that you want to grab it and watch it. So it's one of those things. Like if I don't know it's there, if I don't have it there in front of me, like I'm not gonna be able to watch it, But
Mhm.
once I have it there, I'm like incentivized to do so.
Right.
It's something tangible.
Right. I was talking to the guy, and he said they don't talk about numbers, but definitely that it survives off tourism. He said
I wonder
that,
if they
but
have,
like
like a big online presence. Do you know?
not really. I know that there. If you go to Blockbuster.com, they keep like there's some page saying like we're coming back, but who knows what that fucking means.
Right.
But like he said that like the town does use them. Like he said when Oppenheimer came out, like that shit was like gone. Like that got rented up real quick. But you do have people coming in and like making accounts. I should have like I didn't think about it, but because they actually sold like some DVD players in there too, which was funny. I wasn't gonna go through the full meme of like buying a DVD player and going through and renting it and doing all that. Like maybe next time, because I put myself on the list for that Watchtower because it really is fucking cool, David. If you ever get a chance, you would love it. I think you would think it's cool. But I'm thinking of going back there again eventually. But if I do, it's like I would go to Bend as well, just because like yeah, it's on the way. I'm more inclined to go there than the other side. But yeah, like you have to make an account. So like there was someone from Canada that was visiting, and they were buying stuff and they want to rent a movie, and they had to do this whole thing with their zip code, which didn't make sense because it had a letter in it or something like that. It was funny. But I did end up also, so now I got myself my Blockbuster membership card.
Nice.
Shout out to
Hell
that.
yeah.
Let's see. I didn't bring up all the merch. I bought a lot of merch. Just because like Blockbuster merch just kind of goes hard, but also like I'm down to support that because that's just a cool thing to just have. So I didn't bring all of it, but like I got myself like a tote bag, a lanyard, the usual stuff. They have a movie called Last Blockbuster. I think it's just about them, so I'm curious to watch
I think
that.
it's on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix? That's ironic.
Right.
But
that was like the whole like controversy around it.
but yeah, I bought that Blu. I knew of it, but I just never got around to it. Let's see. I got myself some this shot glass. I got myself some cups. One thing I got, which is so fucking funny, because I'm telling this story to my coworkers who met me at the tower that next day, and her boyfriend's talking to me about that, and he's like, "I got a question. Does it still smell like a Blockbuster?" And I was like, "Funny you should ask, because I saw this and I had to buy it." They have a candle, and opening it up, it smells like the most pungent popcorn smell Like, you know when you open those like those bags right out of the microwave after they're done, it's just like this whiff of butter popcorn. That's what it is, and it's so strong, and it's so funny too because you think about it, and I didn't think about it until he brought it up. He's like, "Why did it always smell like popcorn in there? There was never popcorn around." I'm like, "Yeah, no, there wasn't. It was all bagged popcorn. The fuck? Why was it always smelling like popcorn in there?" But it's like, I guess it's like some restaurants also do where they'll cook food like in the morning just to get the restaurant smelling like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, what'd you end up watching again? I didn't watch anything particular because I was going the next day. I was like in a cheap motel for the night before going off to everything else. So I didn't actually rent anything. Next time I will. But that's the one thing I didn't really do too much was actually browse around the selection. I browsed around a little bit, but definitely want to more next time. But they had a lot of cool memorabilia around there too, which was fun. They had that cool corner section where it looks just like the old Blockbuster. I'm assuming that section is from back during COVID when they shut down. They made it. They made the Blockbuster an Airbnb, which was interesting. But yeah, did that. I ended up staying 2 extra days because there was a Smash tournament in Reno, like a pretty big one that my best friend wanted me to stay at. So I was like, yeah, cool, I'll stick around. I don't know how well I'll do. We'll see. Got double eliminated by Peach for the pre-tournament, which it's like, all right. I could have beat both of them, but they just outplayed me. The next day, got fucking demolished by this one of the top ranked players in NorCal who's a Steve player. I couldn't do a goddamn thing. I don't know what the fuck to do. I was like, I don't know. I got destroyed. And then fought a Mario and he beat me, and it was a closer match. But he outplayed me a bit. But I was okay with that because the next round that Mario had to fight as Steve, and he got his ass kicked. And he was upset about it. Like he's like, all right,
Vindicated.
The Mario yanked his controller out and just walked. No, I felt bad. I'm like, no one wants to lose to a fucking Steve. And I would have been upset actually. So I walked up to him afterwards when he calmed down and just kind of hang out with his friends. Because if you lose, you're gonna be upset about it, and just let everyone chill for like 30 minutes. They come back and they're like, all right, I'm good. But yeah, he came back in. And I'm like, hey, bro, I'd much rather lose to you than lose to a Steve. So thank you. He's like, I got you. That shit sucked. I'm like, yeah, that did not look fucking great.
I don't know, maybe I'm just built different, but I just don't get that heated over shit like that.
I understand.
Like, nah.
I understand a bit because I don't know, just something about fighting games just really put the pressure on just you and everything you do. And I don't know, it's something about it, and like I get frustrated in myself a little bit too. The more you play, the less you get like that. But some people are just always like that, like grossly to a point where it's like, dude, you need to check yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Some people are just wound up tight.
Yeah, shout outs to this one player here. I love him, but he does get salty every time, and it's like almost a meme to the point where like check his Twitter, and he's probably gonna say something about you afterwards. Not in a bad way, just like venting at himself. But I feel bad every time I beat him. I'm like, I don't want to beat you, dude. I don't want you to be upset. And I end up playing him. I don't play that much. Every time I do show up, I end up playing him. And then one time I played him and I beat him, and he's like, fucking, even retired players don't even play this game anymore could beat me. I get him fucking trash. I'm like, you're not bad. Just like, don't count me out. Like, I know Smash. Even if I don't practice the game, yeah, I'm not gonna place well, but I'm gonna do okay. But yeah, shout outs to the first player I played at that big tournament. It was a Cloud player, and I didn't know, I guess he was watching me as I was playing against the Peach players. And he was kind of studying me and everything. I didn't see any of his videos or anything. I'm like, I'm okay. It's a Cloud player. We'll just wing it. We'll see how we do. And I won. And he was upset about that. I mean, again, and everyone's gonna, because you want to do all right, Especially in a big tournament, like a bigger one like that, you want to do pretty well. But he was chill. Like, we started talking afterwards. He wanted to money match me, but I ended up leaving a little bit because he had a few ahead of him. I was down to do it though. But he and I were talking. He would like kind of like say like, dude, you should have kept going. You could have beat Steve. I'm like, I can't beat the fucking Steve. I don't know what the fuck to do. But he as I'm walking back, I was doing the Pokemon Go stuff outside. I'm walking back in. He's like, and then this guy, I'm like, I'm sorry, bro, dude. I coach Smash esports, and like my best player is a Cloud, so I played that matchup for 3 years, bro. I just know that matchup. He's like, no, really? I was like, Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty decent at that matchup. Sorry, dude. You're pretty good, but just like that's just when I had long lock. Even when I'm not warmed up, I kind of had it. But yeah, it's good times. But I think that's it. What'd you guys do? It's been 2 weeks. David.
Hell yeah.
Server work, not sleeping, playing a Vidya.
What video?
I have been making my way through Persona 3 Reload.
Okay, we'll talk about that then.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I have not done much other than work. The only thing that has been going on aside from that is the partner had last Friday off. I only got the 4th of July itself off. I didn't get the following Friday off, but she got both days off. So she built a library for us. We now have a proper library in the house, which is nice.
Nice.
That's about it.
Nice. Kels.
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much the same thing, work, living life, but so last week, starting Thursday, they started pre-release for Set 2 for Star Wars Unlimited card game I've been playing, and that's just going to bleed over into what we got.
All right. One thing I forgot to mention. One of the days I got to, on 4th of July, use a jet ski for the first time since I was a kid. That shit's fun, dude. I love jet skis. I have missed using those things.
All right, Kenny Powers.
Huh?
Have you ever watched Eastbound and Down?
I've not. It's been on my list for a while though.
Yeah, it's Danny McBride, but his character is Kenny Powers, and that's his thing. He has a jet ski. Like, no matter how down and out he is, he always has his jet ski with him. And he always just takes it out to the lake, and he's just whipping it around.
Dude.
That's his, like, moment of solace.
I would fucking do that every goddamn day if I could, dude. Those are so fun. Super scary at first, but then, like, once you, like, ramp up pretty good, I topped out at 57 miles per hour, which was super cool. But, man, you were gliding on that thing, and it freaks you out, though, because when you start hitting waves, you start bouncing. You're, all right, hold up, chill. Super cool, though. All right. Let's jump in. What do we do first? We go what we get, or what'd you get, Dave? What'd you get?
Hell yeah. Got a bunch of things. I've been getting a bunch of cheap PS2 lots, most of which I'm not showing off because they were just basically fixed gaps in my complete unboxedness of games. But some things that were completely new to the collection: DDR Max 2.
I only know that one specifically because Sigma randomly just sent me back when we were sending each other boxes of just junk.
Yeah.
Sigma sent me one and it had that game in it for some reason.
I mean, are you surprised it's Sigma?
Yeah.
I got a copy. I got a Japanese game lot here. I got Angelique Trois. That is actually a series that I wish had some English translations to them. Really interesting kind of political simulator, strategy RPG hybrid. Really neat concept. We'll probably never end up playing them, but I just like having them. Games I do love that I do play. Got the very first on the actual fuck.
Taiko no Tatsujin.
Oh. Sorry, I hit a fucking keyboard macro and I was wondering what the fuck my computer was trying to do. Fucking macro's
good,
still
bro?
firing off apparently. No, my macro keeps firing off for some reason.
And meanwhile, here's Tess, everyone.
Hell yeah.
She's living her life right now. As an elderly woman.
Alright, I think my macro is done fucking running. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Taiko Drum Master, Japanese copy of one. What the fuck is going on here? Fucking Windows.
You need us to move on for a second?
No, I just need to understand why that macro is keyboard real quick.
Interesting.
I think I need to fucking wipe Windows 11 again. Bullshit. Never have these issues in Linux.
It's fair. All right, Taiko
All
Drum
right.
Master. You got DDR.
Yeah, so Taiko Drum Master. So that's it for the Japanese PS2 lot. A couple more PS2 games. Arc the Lad. Twilight of Spirits. One of these days, I'll have the PS1 collection, but those are stupid fucking expensive right now. And if I'm gonna get some stupid expensive RPGs, there's other gaps in my collection I'm gonna fill, like the Dot Hack Part 4 and fucking Xenosaga Part 3. But also got MDK2. This is a game series I've really been wanting to go through. I now have both of them, so I'll probably do that sooner than later here. Speaking of consumerism, though, I did finally get the credit card stickers for Shin Megami Tensei 5. Those have finally arrived
Nice.
to show that I am a true Atlas consumer. Speaking of more Japanese bullshit, I got this for like $3 because an English copy goes for like over 150 right now. But Dragon Slayer on the TurboGrafx CD.
Nice.
Managed to snag this for $3 hairs as well. Deus Ex on Xbox, why not? And then the one big shiny new boy in the collection. I kept telling myself that if this series ever got a proper full English release, I'd start going through it. Was like last year we got Witch on Holy Mountain, and this year we finally got Tsukihime. At least half of it. This is technically the first half of Tsukihime. But eventually I will go through it so that way I can start to actually understand the fucking Fate franchise. That's what I got.
Kels?
Nice. Yeah, so like I said, pre-release happened. That was cool. Got a little taste of the new cards. So set release isn't until the 12th, so Friday. But I got the hookup. So I went ahead and got my booster boxes. Got 3 of these bad boys.
Hell yeah.
Really nice. And got the starter kit, the little 2-player starter kit. Mando and Moff Gideon. Really nice. A lot of cool cards in there. But I'm just really hyped to have them in my hands. It's one of those things whenever you get something early, it's ripping time. Time to start cracking some cardboard open.
Nice.
Yeah, besides that, I just have a lot of comics I picked up in the past 2 weeks, but it's all good.
Okay. I was gonna buy some stuff off the Steam sale. I got a couple games, but budget is tight after this last trip, so I'm probably just gonna take a screenshot of everything I have in my cart and just wait for the next Steam sale. I did pick up this game.
Oh yeah, technically I did finally cop Shadow of the Erdtree as well. So
How was it?
really good.
Nice.
Lots of fun.
Honestly,
don't think it's as hard as people make it sound. Like me
now
going into
now
it,
it's patched, isn't it?
well, I have no clue.
It got patched. I forget what it was though.
It just it feels like any other FromSoft game. I mean, once you figure out the boss's pattern, it's not hard at all.
Sure.
Use what the game gives you.
Again, a lot of people, they hear about how great the game is. They're not inundated with the style of game that is a Souls-like. Then they hop into it and go, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And then cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like anything. It's effectively a single-player competitive game in the sense that the game is trying to get you to react and learn the game.
Sure.
Yep. Learn the formula. And then deal with the bullshit in between.
Babies, they're all of them.
Yeah, for real.
Absolute babies.
Last a day in the asylum.
Fucking game journalism.
I got
Well, that's the thing. The game journalists were the ones that were like blowing through it, beating in like right before deadlines and shit, and then the general public were like, "Oh, I can't do it." It's like, did they have game journalist mode on, or like what's happening?
before we do go
Clearly, they just didn't get casuals to play the fucking games.
That's true.
before we go through that, April, I said after you guys go over what you bought and played, I was wondering if y'all know any good X-Men related or Fantastic Four comics that I should check out as a newcomer.
Dude, X-Men's about to like do their whole new like ground zero, like Krakoa era's over, so it's pretty much wiping the slate clean and going from there. So now is like the perfect time to hop in, dude. And then Ultimate X-Men is running right now. Trade paper will be out probably later this year, but hop in. Peach Momoko is, if you love like any sort of manga or anything, she has like a really cool like water painterly style.
Yes.
That's
Buy all of her
sick.
comics or buy all of her things off Marvel Snap.
Yeah, Yeah, that's the big thing too. I forgot she has Marvel Snap cards too. That alone almost made me get back into the game.
She has a whole ass album. Let me see. Hold up.
Yeah.
Did you see the album?
Yeah, no, I seen that because whenever I was getting into Ultimate X-Men, I was like, have any of these characters that crossed over into Snap yet? And
Yeah.
dove right in.
So, anyone out there doesn't know what we're talking about. On one of the things they added Marvel Snap over the last like year, not even a year, maybe like 6 months, I'd say. They added albums. So if you complete a collection of variants, you'll unlock something like an emote or something. But there is a Peach Momoko album, which I
I
have.
love how they like shout out the artist too. That's really cool.
Right. So like, there's Blade.
Yeah.
That one's pretty sick. Doctor Strange.
It's cool.
What's another cool one? I like the Moon Girl one's pretty good. The Moon Knight one. Almost about the Moon Knight one. Moon Knight one went so fucking hard.
That does go incredibly hard.
But yeah, so they do all those now. Anyway, I was asking because I thought Phase 4 was lame, but I kind of find them interesting as far as X-Men. So I watched the X-Men movies for the first time.
I will say that Fantastic Four is fucking lame, but Doctor Doom is not. And I will say for some legacy recommendations,
Alex Ross had a really good Fantastic Four run too, and his art alone is fucking beautiful.
that is fair. My two favorite stories specifically for Doctor Doom, Doom 2099. Go check that one out. That was a lot of fun. And a Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange crossover of Triumph and Torment. Absolutely fantastic storyline. Highly recommend those.
So, just to hop back into it real quick, I saw this was getting clearance out at GameStop, so I bought one on the way here at Vegas. Got that fitness boxing Fist of the North Star,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
$10. Unfortunately, it's GameStop new, which is kind of annoying, and I wish it wasn't because it's
Right,
GameStop new.
cracked open.
My candle I think got a little bit too warm because again we're driving through 100 degrees, so it got a little gross in the corner. You can kind of see, but no, whatever.
Alright.
It's a $10 game. But shoutouts to GameStop new. That's not actually new, and they should charge these prices at that point. Anyway, I want to talk about something really quick before we get into what we played. I did end up
Bug snacks.
Please God.
I ended up getting through Invincible season 2.
Fuck yeah.
Oh shit! I still got to do that.
Man.
Yeah.
What'd you think? What'd you think?
So, yeah. So when I was with my best friend out there, we just happened to go through stuff all the time, and he was like, "All right, what shows are you not watching now?" I'm like, I have to go through all this, and I mentioned Invincible season 2. He's like, "All right, sit down, we're gonna watch that." I'm like, "Cool." And as you guys may know, when I want to watch something, I avoid spoilers like the plague. I don't know a single thing. I have no idea where everything is going, and so, I think Kells mentioned this last time, but I guess it must have went in one ear and out the other one because I forgot about it. Because when he mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that spoilers for season 2 of Invincible, I guess, and also for Invincible in general, I forgot that it is a multiverse thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I
too.
didn't know. So I think you mentioned it last time too.
Yeah.
Probably.
And so we're watching, and I'm looking at the beginning, and I it's been a while, so I didn't do a recap, and I probably should have. But I was able to grasp enough, and I got my brain started churning. I'm like, all right, cool, that's where we're at. But I watched that first scene, and he's like, he looks at me, he's like, you know what just happened? I'm like, no. He's like, it's multiverse now. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, that's where we're going with all this. I'm like, oh, all right.
See, like the big thing about it too is like at the point that Invincible is coming out, it's kind of unfortunate because multiverse stuff is kind of like the hot thing right now.
It's not
Like
even the hot thing anymore. It's like it's kind of the overused thing now. It's like, all right,
Exactly. But
done.
the unfortunate thing is
when it was
I feel
going
like
through it.
Invincible does it really fucking well, and they don't hang on it for too long. It doesn't outstay its welcome. And
It
it's not like
also
a
it
Deus Ex
drives the
Machina kind of
story.
thing. Right, exactly. It drives the story. It has a reason, and it doesn't drag the story down.
It's not like where it feels like it's just like fan service to Marvel right now, where it's like, oh, multiverse, aka excuse to bring back this actor, aka
Literally the source
reason
of,
to
like,
do
one of the
this
great
when
villains.
really shouldn't have to have an excuse to do that. Like, it's comics, you can just do it, but like they Marvel kind of pinned themselves in the corner where it's like they have to do continuity stuff with everything.
Yeah, don't be a big pussy about it. Just fucking say, hey, we're doing this and do it. You don't have to fucking have a multiverse about it.
That's what I
Bring
appreciated
back
about
a new Iron Man.
that's what I appreciate about the Batman, honestly. Where
Yeah,
Matt
for
Reeves
sure.
is like, nah, this is ours. Do you want to link it to anything? No.
Well, at the same time, like that's some news too. Supposedly, there's some stuff going on behind the scenes with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Well, they canceled a series because they
Penguin?
were doing the Penguin. They're doing Penguin's still coming out. It's like August or September, but they're also doing an Arkham Asylum one, and I think there's another one in the works. But the Arkham Asylum one got officially canceled.
Interesting. But I appreciate that. It's like it's different from Joker, right? They're like these are
Yeah.
different. These aren't contrasting. But yeah, it's super cool the way they're doing it. And I imagine, especially having Invincible being written back then, was probably even cooler because it's like, oh, cool. This is really fresh, right? We're not like in the middle of multiverse madness with all of us. But super great. You really forget how fucking violent and gory that show is until like
Until it happens, you're like, oh fuck, I forgot.
yeah. It never quite hit the train scene, pun intended, of the first season. But
Or Battle Beast just beating the dog shit out of Mark.
yeah. But I
God,
also
fucking love Battle Beast. I can't wait.
I also didn't know that they used that as the fatality for Omni-Man.
Yeah.
That's so fucking crazy. I didn't know that. I avoided watching that for some reason, and yeah, I was like, holy shit, that's great. But yeah, there was no real crazy moment like holy fuck, except there was like one part in the middle that involved a bunch of characters in two different areas.
Yeah.
It's all say if you know what you know, and that was kind of an intense episode because there's like two crazy things going on at once, and it was like fucked for both sides. But one side got super fucked, and that was probably the most intense it got. But yeah, there's a lot of loose ends right now that are like, oh, we can go a lot of different places, which is super cool. Which means I'm gonna probably read the comics probably now, just because now I'm like, all right, I'm in.
You got to, dude. The comics are really fucking good, and that's what I appreciate about the show. I feel like the show is the comics, and Robert Kirkman said this too. He said this is like his second chance at it, to where like he sees like where the deficiencies are, and he's able to kind of make up for it.
I love
and,
it.
Like even this season alone, they've changed some of the storylines around, like not necessarily plot wise, but like reordered, restructured, and it works so much better. Like all the stuff with the Sequids wasn't supposed to come until like a little bit later. Like there's a few arcs in between. And technically after everything with Angstrom, like how the season kind of ends, then the Sequid stuff happens. And they've just little stuff like that. Even
Okay.
season 1 had some moments where they reordered stuff and they changed like how stuff worked out. And I really appreciate seeing that as someone that's read the comics. It's amazing to see.
Yeah. So I'm excited to go through that. In person, got to head out, but thanks for the comic recommendations. We'll have a great podcast. Also, one thing that was spoiled to me about Invincible, besides the cameo of season 1, besides the ending of season 1 and the cameo in season 2, I think I know what you're talking about. It's just a cute little moment
I feel
that's
like
like.
oh, okay.
I think that's what it is, right? Because I kind of sworn I heard that as well. But there is a quote unquote cameo in season 2, but it was like a cute little. All right, that was fun. But nothing crazy. So yeah, I'm probably gonna bring those. I'm still just not into Gen V enough to like. I was like, all right, cool. I'm done with that. Started it. I'm like, I'm not in the mood for this. But I do want to get through because I really want to get through the Boys and Forks. I'm hearing so many fucking weird things about it now this last episode was like,
That's kind of unfortunate because the last 2 episodes kind of do lean heavy into Gen V.
okay, well, I mean, that's why I'm watching it, right? And I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
bad. I'm just like really eager to get to that,
Sure.
because I'm hearing so much weird discourse about it. I'm hearing this last episode was a doozy for a particular reason.
Yeah, the last one was definitely weird, but I don't think it's weird for the reasons why people are getting upset about it.
Okay. Cause yeah, my friend was saying that he's like, yeah, I watched it. He's like, it was weird, but he's like, I'm gonna refrain from comment until the whole thing's done. He's like, let's just see if it just fits in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. Yep.
Which I think everyone kind of needs to do with a lot of these shows.
That's how I am with Acolyte too. Like everyone's been in a fucking uproar, and I mean, been enjoying it. I don't know why everyone's crying.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking man babies.
And then welcome to the internet. I did have a moment. This reminds me because I was talking about him. I did have another moment that gave me PTSD to back in what was it, the beginning of May, where I was on the jet ski. I was hanging out for like 10 to 20 minutes out there, and I pull back up there. And right when I'm driving back up and docking it, my friend looks at me. He's like, "Hey, yo, Kendrick dropped." I'm like, "No, he didn't." He's like, "Yeah, he dropped." I'm like, "Oh shit." So shout outs on that. That was a great video. Loved it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so Invincible's done. Genevieve's gonna happen. I'll probably get through Invincible next. In terms of what I played a little bit more Kingdom Hearts. Wasn't quite in the mood to play as much as I thought I was, but I got
I've
through.
listened to Simple and Clean so many times since we talked about it last time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and someone's like coming
It's
here
just been stuck in my head.
and get mad at me because like, did you just call that song dumb? I'm like, yeah, it was weird. It's like, it wasn't dumb. It just threw me the fuck off. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You were not prepared for how anime this game actually is.
Right.
Oh yeah. The spiky hair didn't give it away.
I think it's a slow start for me at first. I'm not quite sold in on Kingdom Hearts yet. It's just like,
I feel like it definitely is a slow start. They kind of reel you in, hoping that you're a Final Fantasy fan, and or hoping you have like some sort of childhood attachment to Disney already.
Yeah, the first game is not like phenomenal. It's fine. It is a very self-contained, well-told but simplistic story. It
I
is
feel
very
like-
much a simple good versus evil, save the day.
I feel like the charm was also the novelty of it. Like, holy shit, these are Disney characters and Square characters. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a big thing about it. I feel like 2 is where it takes off, and 2 for me is like one of my top games of all time.
Okay, because
Yeah, Chain of Memories is my favorite, but then 2 would if we're just talking numbered entries, 2 is
yeah. So I'm still trucking
chef's
along,
kiss.
just little by little. I think right now I'm not even that far. It's like I think I'm trying to find Alice because she disappeared after that whole fight. So it's still the very
Yeah.
beginning, but like
That
nothing's
and
hooked
Tarzan
me in.
Worlds are like the worst ones. They're so
Yeah.
fucking painful.
Yeah, so like I had to pull up
I
the
hate
guide because I didn't
navigating
understand what
Tarzan.
was going on. And it hasn't hooked me yet because I'm not really a Disney guy. I'm not really a Final Fantasy guy, right? But
so yeah, this is not the series for you.
yeah, but also like
I'm gonna-
it's something I've been intrigued about, and it's like it's one of those like it's along with Half-Life, I'd say like until recently, like FF7, Ocarina of Time, and Half-Life 2, and I'd say like Kingdom Hearts are like some of like those core games that like most gamers have played, right? That like really that most gamers of our generation have played, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm missing those gaps, and it's like
Wait, you
either
haven't played
way,
Ocarina of Time either.
no. Mm-mm.
Oh wow, okay.
Weird, right? Like I was a Nintendo
Yeah.
kid, 64 kid.
Yeah, that's
I
what
was
I'm
a
thinking.
64
I was
kid.
like, okay.
Yeah.
I was a 64 kid, just never got Ocarina of Time, which was weird.
I remember
maybe
I
one day
remember
for games gone by.
specifically where and when I got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, it was at a flea market because it was like one of those ones, all the cartridges on the table. It's like, all right, 5 for whatever. So
Yeah,
I
the
just
good old
remember
days.
like, oh, Majora's Mask, this one's golden, 3D like label on it, sick. Give me the other one too. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm surprised I never got it. Honestly, it's so weird. I had 12 or 13 64 games growing up there. I always remember that number. I think it was 12. I want to say, but 12 or 13, and none of them being a Zelda game. The first Zelda game I ever owned was Wind Waker, and I didn't click with that game whatsoever. The first Zelda game I
It's
ever
crazy.
really played and beat was Twilight Princess, and because I played Twilight Princess, I liked it a lot. Never got around to Skyward Sword, but I did on the Wii Shop channel or the on a Wii Virtual Console. I got Ocarina of Time because I'm like, all right, this is like high school me. I'm like, all right, I've heard a lot
Yeah.
of good things about this. Let's play this. But at that point, Twilight Princess, with all things considered, is like a better Ocarina in terms of like gameplay, like the way it was built, like gameplay wise, right? Like not story wise or anything, right? Obviously, or not like the way it was, but like
No, but like you can see where like the series had clearly grown and evolved.
right. And so you're going back, and again, and it's always been like that for me, right? I'm talking like high school me.
Yeah.
I go back play Ocarina, I'm like, oh, this is just worse. Everything. Not and I use the worst
You
term
gotta play
worse.
Majora's Mask, dude. Have you played Majora's Mask?
I
guess
have
should
that.
ask?
I had it on 3DS. I think I even fucking have the goddamn.
See, I am a Majora's Mask like supremacist because I think Majora's Mask was the last one on the 64. So I'm
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
in my brain, I rationalize it. They got everything worked out. They have, and it's not feature complete, but it has more of the good stuff in it that makes it feel good compared to like something like Ocarina of Time, which probably doesn't feel as good because I think Ocarina of Time wasn't launch, but it was early in the
Yeah,
life
it was an
cycle.
earlier release.
So I feel like that. I feel like Majora's Mask holds up a little bit better due to that.
And just the whole idea of it and just the novelty of it's just so cool. Um, you know, also your very first roguelike, right?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah, I
know,
never
playing
thought
a
about that
roguelike-
game as a roguelike, but
I mean,
actually,
not wrong.
I consider it because you can control every aspect of it.
That's fair. But I mean, the idea is there.
Well, your mask carry over too, so you can
So
carry your mask
I-
into the new run.
we do, and I still plan on it. I know we kind of like abandoned it for a little while, but I plan on going back to games gone by. But you know what'd be cool? Is if we go back and make those lists of like marks on your gamer card of like, ooh, that looks bad.
Or
that
games
there-
of shame that we haven't played.
Yeah, like fuck the backlog, but like what's something that we're like, I probably shouldn't say that I have not played that game, but I've not played that game.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm sold. Let's dump games gone by as it is.
Well, I mean,
three of us come up with 3 games of shame. and
Black
we're
Mesa is
sold.
already going to be on there, so that works on that.
There. So
Yakuza's
we still
already
keep
kind of
that
one on
one.
there too, so that's what I'm saying. It's like
Perfect.
we're kind of already doing it.
Adrian has 2 of
Gone by is
his.
back on.
Yeah. All right. Never mind.
Back on the menu, boys.
We're not far off of that, right? But I'm talking like it'd probably be cool for us to get like
Hey,
2
I
or.
suggested Metal Gear. Adrian has not played Metal Gear.
Yep.
That's fine.
Oh, what are some? Can you guys think of some like on the top of your head that like?
Really, my area of like blind spot would have to be probably that early like GameCube and Xbox era because I was a PS2 boy back in that day.
Yep.
Um,
I'm gonna look up Metacritic all the
so
time.
yeah. Besides, I mean, like the obvious ones, like your Halos, Time Splitters.
You ever play
those.
Halo?
No, no, never played Halo.
Oh, you
No,
can
I mean, I
you
have.
can go through
played
the same
Halo.
journey I did.
No. I was deep into the books, games, all
Okay,
that.
okay. Let's say that. I'm like something
How's
doesn't ring
that
right.
work?
Hold on, this is breaking my
Yeah.
lore for a second.
I was gonna say, because that was a fun journey experiencing Halo proper for the first time. Man, that was a good one. that
A
turned
mark
me
on
around.
mine.
Fuck, what a
Metroid Prime.
the Metroid Prime trilogy is fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I even
supposed
like
quadrilogy
games
seemed.
on DS too. I had a lot of fun with those.
They're okay.
Uncharted 2 I've never played.
Oh, that's one for me. I've never really like played through any of the Uncharted games.
You
I think
know,
2 was the last one I played.
the House of Fate Morgana is number 25 and all-time highest rated.
Yeah, as it should be. Great fucking game.
Interesting.
Replaying through it with my partner, I will admit there are some areas that if you're playing it straight through, drag a bit because it's written with the expectation that like you're taking extended breaks. So it's like, hey, we're gonna re-throw in some information to remind you. But other than that, I mean, it still holds up for me. I am always going to go through that. You fucking say the word, it's gonna happen.
Well, Final
My love for
Final
that game will
Fantasy
never
7
die.
was on there, but we knocked that out.
Let's see what other gaming things have
I'm looking at
I.
the top list right now. Metal Gear Solid 2 has to happen eventually.
Yeah, boy. See, that's okay. So that always gets me because Metal Gear Solid 2 is great. It's a great point to start, but 3 is technically where you probably should start if you're worried about the story or want the story in like a coherent manner.
Yeah, because 3 is technically the earliest point
Yeah.
even with the MSX games, right? Because I think it goes like 3, then the MSX games,
Yep.
then MSG1 proper. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd
Yep,
almost
yep,
be
yep.
cool going through
And
the
then like
top
the Peace
100
Walkers
games.
and stuff in between. It really would.
Because,
All right.
I mean, even the ones
where
that we have
are you
intimate
getting
knowledge
this top
of, we could
100?
just,
let me
yeah, we're
I'm Metacritic. Let me read off.
Okay.
Let me,
Alright, for
let me read
Metacritic.
this list off for everyone. Okay. Top there of all time. We just mentioned it. Ocarina of Time, 99 on Metacritic. It will never get topped.
99.
99
Okay.
on Metacritic.
What the fuck is Majora's Mask rated then? I wonder what. I wonder if like the time mechanic was a knock against
Yeah.
it back then.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays that would be the hot shit. Like people would love that shit.
I think that's why it's seen a second life, is because that resonates more with folks. I know, certainly back in the day, I wasn't, as a kid, I didn't appreciate it. Definitely playing it as an adult, I appreciated it a lot more.
I think also the vibe
Yeah.
of it just is different. It was too different back then, but
Yeah, it was scary. Honestly, it had like a really morbid kind of like dark like sense
well,
to it.
I remember when Tears of the Kingdom first got showed off, everyone was like hyped about that. Like, oh, it looks fucking
Yeah.
like, dreary.
Zombie Ganon. Yeah.
So number 1, 99 is
Yo,
Ocarina of
it's
Time.
hot.
Number 2, Soul Calibur 1 with 98.
Soul
Fascinating.
Calibur 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not even Soul Blade or 2.
Nope, Soul Calibur 1.
2, I could see being there, maybe. I still think it's weird that it's the number 2 most rated.
Yeah, number 2 most rated is insane for any Soul Calibur game, but
For any fighting game, period, I'm going to be honest. Like,
I'd see Tekken 3 up there, or like
I was going to say, unless it's Tekken 3 or it's Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I would be amazed for a fighting game to be in the top
I can
10.
imagine this
Yeah,
being just
no
like
doubt.
the proven like, oh, this is an arcade game on a console that just like translated great for you to bring that, you know?
Yeah,
Fair.
Number
I can see
3,
that.
GTA 4 with 98.
I can see that.
Number 4, Super Mario Galaxy
Gotcha.
97.
Oh, those are games I can say. I've never fully played through any Grand Theft Auto. I don't care for them, but
Oh.
I fuck around in a couple of them.
Which have you played a story, like story wise?
The last one I tried to legitimately play through the story of was 4.
Okay. I liked 4. Like that was like my first actual GT game I played through. Like I didn't have a PS2. It was on Xbox as well, but like bigger on PS2, right? But whenever I played I played GTA on my friends or like my cousin's console, it was just us fucking around with the cheat codes. So GTA 4 was my first like going through the story one. I enjoyed it. So Super Mario Galaxy 1 is number 4. Super Mario Galaxy 2 right behind it with 97 as well. Breath of the Wild number 6, 97. 29 Pro Skater 3 number 7, 97.
Fuck yeah.
Perfect Dark at 97 as well. Red Dead Redemption 2 at 97. GTA 5 at number 10 with 97. So Rockstar up there with 3 games. Nintendo up there
2
with
of them in the past like what 10 years? Or when did GTA 5 first come out?
2013.
Okay, yeah, so almost 10 years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Metroid Prime 97, GTA 3 97, Mario Odyssey at number 13 with 97, Halo 1 at 97. I'm just gonna keep reading just in order and just assume these are all super high scores. 15 NFL 2K1, 16 Half-Life 2, 17 BioShock, 18 GoldenEye. What's this? Oh yeah, GoldenEye. 19 Uncharted 2, 20 Resident Evil 4, 21 Baldur's Gate 3, 22 Orange Box 23, Tekken 3. 24 is Mass Effect 2.
I feel like the orange box is kind of cheating.
Kind of
Yeah.
is, but I mean, like that was a collection you could buy. That's the only way you can get Portal and stuff, right? So like,
Still feel it's kind of cheating, but all right.
I mean, I get it, but like that. Think about it. Like that was the only way you could get Half-Life
On
and-
console,
yeah,
sure.
on consoles. But I mean,
I don't know. I just don't think
I'm
that
just thinking of it
compilation
in
should
the-
count.
In the reason of like reviews, because it. What'd you say the review was? It the Metacritic score was on it?
well, next one I'm reading is
96.
96. So it's probably 96, 97.
Yeah, so 96 for those three.
But you
games
think
is-
about that though, like that's a banger collection.
It's a banger collection. I just think when we're talking about like individually the best games, I don't think a compilation should count in
So
there.
I understand that argument 100%. I think my only counter argument would be like, well, if you rated TF2 97, then like what does that mean the orange box is going to be, because that's the only way you can get that on a console, right? Like
Why was that not bigger on console? I wonder. Is that just, like, before its
it came
time or
out right
something?
when Call of Duty 4 came out,
That makes sense.
same year, and then
Yeah.
you're battling Halo 3 as well. It was
It did pop off for a while. It was actually in the top 100 for PS3 community for a long time in that.
and it still has a decent community because it is the only genuine way to play TF2 now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like bots haven't overrun it on console.
no, and it's no hats or anything, right? It's just like pure TF2.
Yeah, it's pure TF2. So the only thing that sucks is you don't get like some of the other modern weapons and everything. But at the same time, if you just want
The
vanilla
classic,
TF2, that's
which is
the
kind
one
of
way
cool,
to
actually,
experience
right?
it.
Like you ever wonder, like I want to go
Yeah,
back to
it's
just
cool.
like the way the game was.
Like
It
a time
exists.
capsule.
And
20
that's the one thing I wish we had like a big community for, is that would be fun. Is just to like, all right, we're gonna do a big old community vanilla TF2 night, and
I'm
just
sure
kind
there
of like
probably
temporarily
is.
resurrect games like that.
There probably is somewhere, but yeah, you know what? That's what they should do. The save TF2 movement should say, "Fuck it, let's just get the 360 copy and let's all play that one right now." Fuck that.
Moving to orange box.
Right. 25 House of Fate Morgana, 26 Elden
Hell yeah.
Ring, 27 Skyrim, 28 Half-Life 1, 29 Tears of the Kingdom, 30 Wind Waker, 31 Gran Turismo, 32 Metal Gear Solid 2, 33 GTA. See, this is weird. This is the weird one. GTA Double Pack is 33. That one I would say that one doesn't count because that is two games you could buy individually on the Z console. 34 Portal Companion Collection, same thing right there. 35 Baldur's Gate 2. 36 GTA San Andreas. 37 GTA Vice City.
I'm really surprised Vice City and San Andreas are that far down. Honestly,
I think San Andreas deserves to get higher up there because that was an iconic game.
100%. Yeah,
38.
that was where they actually started investing in their story.
Yeah.
and like their writing there. Because I think it was that, and then Red Dead after it.
No. San Andreas, it's in GTA 4 and then Red Dead.
Oh, okay.
Either
Either way, GTA 4 had really good writing as well. So
yeah.
I feel like that's where
I think
kinda
their
started turning the
their
corner.
their story writing, yeah, really definitely began in San Andreas. 38 Little Big Planet. 39 what the fuck is this? Oh yeah, Legend of Zelda Collection Edition. It's that one that came with on the GameCube for the with the
Oh yeah, for
yeah,
pre-orders.
that's
Yeah.
why would that have a review on it? That's weird. 40 Gran Turismo 3, 41 Halo 2, 42 the Elden Ring
41 for
expansion.
Halo 2 feels criminal as well.
Well, we're still at 95 Metacritic.
That's true.
So like these are still high, and I wonder like what the
Yeah, we
percentage-
still haven't left the 90s.
yeah, I wonder what the percentage of the breakdown is on that. Like, are we talking like the amount of reviewers or?
Yeah.
But yeah, 42 is Elden Ring expansion. 43 is Majora's Mask. There you go.
Yay.
44. What the fuck? 44 is
So it's like literally like 4% different between
Right.
Ocarina and Majora's Mask.
44 is the GBA Link to the Past Four Swords.
Okay. Hell yeah.
45
one.
is The Last of Us on PS3. 46 is Twilight Princess. 47 Madden NFL 2003, 48 Persona 5 Royal. It's a 100 and we're done. Because I'm just curious now. Because, yeah. 49 is Last of Us Remastered on PS4.
Wow, I hope they don't make a sequel to that and fuck it up.
Yeah, no, they won't. I think they're going to stay like that. 50 Red Dead 2. Or no, Red Dead 1. 51 Portal 2. 52 Final Fantasy 9.
Hell yeah.
53 God of War. The reboot. 54 is 29 Pro Skater 4. 55 Devil May Cry 1. 56 Madden NFL 2002. 57 is Batman Arkham City. 58 Metroid Prime Remastered. 59 Ocarina of Time 3D. This one's interesting. 60 Chrono Cross.
I was about to say we haven't seen Chrono Trigger anywhere.
I think that was too early for Metacritic because you're seeing like 64
Oh,
games on here. I
yeah.
don't see any NES games.
Yeah, that'd be hard to go back and retrofit a lot of the reviews for the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Did
60
it come out on 3DS? Where's the reviews for that?
right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, actually, that's.
I guess
ooh.
we'll see. 61 Madden NFL 2004. 62 Gears of War. 63 Morrowind. 64 Civ 2. 65 Quake. 66 COD 4.
yeah.
67 BioShock Infinite. 68 Halo 3. 69 Ninja Gaiden Black. 70 Metal Gear Solid. 71 Grim Fandango. 72 Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. 73 is Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. 74 God of War Ragnarok. 75 Resident Evil Code Veronica. Interesting. 76 Burnout 3 Takedown. Fantastic game.
Hell yeah.
77 Diablo 1.
Wow, that Diablo 2 hasn't been up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Far better game.
78 MGS 3.
Okay, I was just about to say it's wild that MGS3 hasn't been up here. And
There
then
you go. 79 Modern Warfare 2. 80 MGS 4. 81
It's kind of crazy that that's rated so high.
right. I think it was that fanfare that I had around then.
Yeah, because it was like the big PS3 game that they
Mhm.
were kind of like the tech demo game for
Right.
it.
81 God of War the original. Let's see. This one is 82 KOTOR. 83 Civ 4. 84 Virtua Fighter 4. 85 Smash Bros. Brawl. 86 Company of Heroes. 87 Gran Turismo 2. Oh, that's weird. They have a fake game up here. 88 Last of Us Part 2. 89 Pandora Tomorrow. This game deserves to be higher. 90 is GTA Chinatown Wars.
For sure.
Chinatown Wars
That
is
game
fucking goated.
fucked. Yeah, so good.
The source of so many early home brewing for a lot of folks.
It was one of my favorite Samuel Geek sound clips. Was Samuel reviewing it, and we just cut out the part where he said, I was addicted to drug dealing for a long time." It's a great sound clip.
Wow, I hope that doesn't pop up in this.
Yeah. 91 is Pac-Man Championship Edition DX, which is fantastic.
Pac-Man, okay.
Have you ever played Championship Edition?
No,
Championship Edition goes nuts. It's like
not knowingly.
it is like one that's like very like neon. And...
Oh, is that the one at Dave and Buster's where you play with like 4 people?
No. This one was it was kind of expired off that though, because what they started doing was this is kind of what stemmed it all. It was like neon boards and everything, and you would hit these like multipliers, and you would have like 100 ghosts chasing you at once. It was super cool. Like that game is great. If you never played that, I would super recommend that game. It's awesome. 92 Dwarf Fortress.
Hell yeah.
93 Half-Life Alyx. 94 Divinity Original Sin 2.
Fuck yeah.
95
Great
Unreal
movie.
Tournament 2004. 96 Braid, which that was one of the games I picked up at the Steam sale because it was like a flash sale, or not a flash sale, it was one of the deep discount ones for like $5. I kind of want to give that game another go. I didn't like it that much when it was back then.
I liked it fine enough back then, but
97 God of War 2. 98. Wait, did I go the right way or did I say the last one? Yeah, 96 Braid. Yeah, 97 God of War 2. 98 Super Mario 3D World. 99 StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. And number 100, next one to get knocked off the list very soon, SSX.
No. That's gonna make me
wild
so
that right
mad.
after that is then Street Fighter 4.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's your top 100. When you scroll down a little bit and just look at the other ones, like, damn, Beautiful Joe won at 119. At 93, damn.
Persona 4 Golden and then Persona 5 Base right after it as well.
Mario Kart Super Circuit at 116. That's wild.
Fallout 3 at 109.
Hades at 121. I thought that one would have been higher.
Soul Calibur 2 is 112. What the?
Flipnote Studio 93 is 129.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is 143 Eternal Darkness. That's cool. Banjo Kazooie at 147. Let's go. Banjo Kazooie's above Celeste? Wow.
God damn.
Crazy.
Vagrant Story 152. And then Team Fortress 2 right after it. And then
Right.
System Shock 2 right after that. Jesus.
Smash
Some
Melee
fucking bangers in a
159.
row.
But yeah, we should go through our list of like games that we've not personally gone through.
Or gaming shames.
Yeah, I see. I still think I would love for you to go through Red Dead.
Are we
'cause,
talking about like beginning to end, like beat the game, or are we talking about
like a game's gone
played
by?
the game? Oh,
But-
okay, yeah. I mean, like in the past. So we're talking about going through games. that
It, what you would consider like you haven't played the game. So like
Okay, like
I've-
not familiar with or something.
Yeah.
That you would say. Okay.
yeah, so like I'm saying, like I've played Ocarina, but I've not played Ocarina. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried to play Half-Life 2 14 times, but I'm not. I would just tell people I just haven't played it.
That'd be fun too, because there'd be games where it's probably, oh, I've played that, but haven't played in 10 years, so
mhm.
Yeah.
knock the rust off.
What's the thing for that? That's my train of thought.
Like Ocarina, probably haven't played that one. I
Oh,
think it was college last time I played it.
I really want David to go through a Red Dead game, but I'm like, I think Red Dead 2 is such a phenomenal game, but like, it's very rare that like a game, the sequel just makes you love the original that much more too. You know what I mean? Like, have you played Red Dead 2?
Yeah.
When you got through Red Dead 2, especially when you got to the epilogue part, it just makes you just really want to go through Red Dead 1 again because you're like, damn, that was awesome. Like that was really, really good. But I wonder, I there's some moments, David, that I'm like, I think you would appreciate, like, genuinely what you would appreciate with on there, but I know it's not your type of game.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like playing Red Dead 1 and knowing Red Dead 1 does take away like some stakes to some of the story beats in 2. Not like big ones.
That's
but there
true.
are
You know
some-
what? Like if David goes through that, he won't know anything that kind of happens in Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like all brand new. Yeah, because you know Red Dead 2 is a prequel, right, David?
No, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Red Dead 1's a prequel, or Red Dead 2 is a prequel to 1. And it's cool because like through the whole game, like it pretty much like transitions to the point where you could pick up Red Dead 1 right as soon as credits hit on Red Dead 2. You pick up Red Dead 1, you keep going. It's really close full circle with that. But man, there's some poignant moments in that game that I think you would be happy to have experienced. Like I don't know if you've blocked in your head so much that you'd hate the game. But I'm just curious as to how you would
Dude,
actually.
you get to kill clan members. What do you mean you hate the game?
That's why he
Are
hates
you
it.
racist?
True. No, I've never liked Rockstar's gameplay and storytelling.
Why don't you talk about the
Fair.
storytelling?
It just always felt very. a lot of their humor falls into like that stupid movie humor. I'm not a big fan of stupid humor. It feels very
There's
college
like little to no
broski.
humor here, so you'd probably that
The-
might be fixed.
Yeah, like the humor of it
Fair.
is like the ironic humor, you know, like, and it's also funny to the point where like you'll go around right and you see like a fire in the distance, you ride off to it, and then you see like, a group of clan members just around a fire, and you just come up and you shoot them all. Feels great. um, I feel like Rockstar's humor has gotten better, especially for sure since GTA 4. Um, but like, I feel like it's pretty smart. I think like they kind of write it like parody to a point of like parody to poignant. I'd say like it makes sense to me. But I can understand, especially if you're coming off of like what Vice City and then San Andreas into like GTA 4. I can understand why you think that though.
And
Well,
especially like I tried Bully as well. I couldn't get into that
Yeah.
much either.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's so crazy to me, like the polar opposite of like how the writing and the tone of everything in Red Dead 2 does feel compared to like the contemporaries like Grand Theft Auto 5 and like all the expansions and online shit that they've done there. Another news story I guess we have. Because Red Dead 2 does feel very stoic. There's a lot of stoicism to it, especially wrapped up into just because the main character that you play as, Arthur Morgan, is a very stoic man. That's like one of his defining features, almost to a fault. But that
But
has
no,
a lot
but
more to do with the story.
I disagree. Well, yeah, there you go. Because yeah,
And,
he's stoic.
and I feel like that's reflective in the writing. Like, there's not a whole lot of joking and kidding there. And
There-
it has to do with like the world too. I feel like the world, it's not like a wacky western. Like it's like
There's
a
parts.
lived-in-
There's some parts where it's like, all right, this is silly, but like that's kind of like
I
the
feel like
levity.
there are parts, but yeah, it's like those moments of levity. But for the most part, I feel like it's really kind of like everyone's kind of down.
Right, and it's really like they feel like they're on the edge of their own lifestyle, right? Like they're like this, our world's going away. Like you see, like this, like the industrial start to like slowly creep its way in, and they know they're dying off. But like going back to Arthur Morgan as a character, I think you'd really like Arthur Morgan, David. Like genuinely, I think you would really like that character.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's one of the best video game characters of all time for sure. But like he's got the stoicism to him, but to the point where like there's moments where that breaks, and it breaks to a point where like it makes you feel like, oh, the character's breaking down a little bit. And I still think there's one moment, and we talked about this on the podcast with Goron, but like there's one moment particularly that I will still go back to occasionally and rewatch. There's actually two moments, but there's one moment in particular that I'll go back and watch that like almost broke me. I'm like that was tough, but there was one part that almost broke me even more later on. That like, let me say like I was telling you right now, there's 2 points that Arthur Morgan as a character like almost broke me because he was almost broken. It was to the sister. I won't say anything else. But then also that last final moment, what happens to your companion as you're going up the hill, Kels, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that part. Oh man, dude, I was feeling it. I was like, we're going in. But yeah, like I if you are not a fan of like that wacky, zany, like dumb humor, there's some parts of it that are definitely here. Like that's, I mean, it's a 100-hour game, right? So you're gonna get some of that, but it's a levity moment. It's not like it does
Okay.
not. It's not like GTA 5 where you go off and you see you. Oh, I'm just hopping over to Trevor and I see him bashing a hooker's head in. No, it's like you are Arthur Morgan trying to like survive this world that's like constantly beating you down and against you, and you are trying to find who you are as a person. And the cool thing is like I've always felt like the gameplay of GTA is always contrasted with what the story is. Like, oh, Michael's trying to be a better person, right? But no, you can go off and you just kill 45 people, but then you come back to the cutscene. I'm trying to be right? You know what I mean? But like, that's a bit different in the Western world, where you are an outlaw, but then like you do something and it like stains your record, you know, or like you become wanted. Like it does hinder you and to do that stuff, but also like you're not that far off as a character like that, right? Like you're seen as a fucked up person to everyone, just being who you are.
Well, that's why Arthur kind of works too, right? Because he kind of acknowledges. He says it numerous times. He's like, "I'm not a good guy."
Yeah, but he wants to be. Like there's deep down inside, he's like has that moment where he's like, but I try to do good when I can. Like I really
Yeah.
would like to do better, but like there's just it just deals you a bad hand, right? Like you can do all the good things, you can never kill a single person, but that world is built to break you down, and you have to do something bad. I don't think you're gonna like the gameplay of it because it's still pretty standard.
I feel like the gameplay is it's not bad, but it's almost intentionally rough. It's like I don't know how to explain it because a lot of it is like you I don't it's like arcadey realism to a point because like it's a third person, it's not like it's a first person game. So like but it is kind of like you have stamina, you lose your stamina, you have to get your shot off, but you do have Deadeye, so I
Which
mean
makes it
you can just
easy.
lock onto stuff. Yeah. So it's really weird like how to explain, you know?
Okay.
Like I certainly don't know how to explain it.
I do
And then,
think
like I'm not against like terrible controls per se. Otherwise, I wouldn't have ever experienced the Drakengard series. Uh, but it's also one of those things that it's like when I'm already at that point of like I know I don't like their writing, I know I don't like their characters, and now I know I don't like their gameplay. That's a rough sell. Listening to you kind of talking about it more, the way you two have kind of gone through and explained it a bit, I am more intrigued. I'll phrase it that way. I'm definitely intrigued to try it. I think based on also what you've said, especially now remembering that it's a prequel, I would probably be more tempted just to start there anyways.
yeah.
Because it's the same reason why I recommend people start at Yakuza 0. It's the earliest point in the time frame, and then going from 0 to 1 is just such a beautiful, like poignant, all right, we've seen where we started, now we get to actually start at the start, and it's that perfect bookend swing into the next bit of the story. And I feel like if I did actually really like Red Dead Redemption 2, I'd probably have the same feeling of, especially from what you explained, going from 2 right into 1 would probably have that same feel.
I could see a world where you play the Red Dead 2 and you realize, okay, this is not the kind of thing I'm expecting out of them, and you'll like be inclined to at least try a Red Dead 1 because Red Dead 1, man, that ending fucking hits. Like they're
The only
you'll
rough part though is everything that would make that he doesn't like about Rockstar, Red Dead 1's gonna have.
yeah. So
Like
Red Dead
it's gonna
1
have the corny
is
writing. It's gonna have like the more arcadey feel to it.
Red
It's
Dead
gonna,
1 is because Red Dead 1 is in the middle of GTA 4 and 5, right? So like it still does lean, and it's been so long though, but it still does lean more in its own thing where it does kind of have those elements of what we're talking about, but because it's just smack dab in the middle of them writing GTA 4 and 5, it does have more of the corny, parody, jokey parts. I think the distance they had from GTA 5 into Red Dead 2 and allowed them space to breathe and not feel so like
I think they kind of developed more of an identity for
yeah,
the two franchises, right?
right. It felt like Red Dead 1 had elements of like GTA but in the Wild West. Red Dead
For
2
sure.
really feels like its own game. Like I'd be hard pressed to really connect that to GTA, honestly.
Like the only way like I feel like you could is like maybe like, oh, we have the map, we have the wanted
The UI.
system. Yeah, the UI. But other than that, they do almost feel like wholly different games for sure.
Right. But seeing as you don't really have a tie to GTA that much, I don't think the UI is going to bother you much because it's like that. The gameplay might be the most. The only thing that I would say, and the thing that stopped me from playing at the beginning, was the beginning is very, very slow.
See, I love that though. Me being like a movie person, kind of like okay with like the slow crawling build up.
It's a slow
I'm
burn at the
all
beginning
it.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're not okay with that, like it was tough for me to get through. It took a little while, but it got through it. But the payoff is so good. That game is like it's a top echelon game, and I know. See, previous I would joke with you playing it because I thought you were just like against just Rockstar just games, but the way you describe it now, it just sounds like you're really against GTA, which is fair.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Well, I mean, it applies to Bully too. Like
But
everything
yeah,
I hate
so
about Grand
so
Theft Auto
that's
is in
fair
Bully.
too. And I could see you
Bully
kind of
is
connecting
the
all that
GTA
together because
Junior.
Bully, Red Dead 1 and that. I could see you just like, all right, well, this is what Red Dead 2 is going to be like. But just remember, there was a long. Red Dead 2 is the only Rockstar game we've gotten over. We skipped the whole gen, right? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So imagine it's distant off enough from that. So maybe there is a world we do that for games gone by because I think I would put money down that you do like Arthur Morgan. I think he is a character that you can understand and is complex. I think he's well written. I think the world you have to put him through and the actions that you do as a person can reflect him, and it makes you understand that in the story.
One thing I'll say too is I feel like it does take a lot from GTA and like mission structure, and it makes a lot of the story like character based, character focused. But in Red Dead 2, it's one of those things like you really find a way. They either make you love a character or make you hate him, and either way, you're feeling something for him, and it's.
Mm.
I feel like it's worthwhile.
The
Like,
side
it
missions,
takes you on an adventure for sure.
side missions in Red Dead are essential. Like you're gonna want to like knock out everyone, because there's storylines in them that'll
I
like
making connections in your JRPGs.
right.
You have to go on every date
Yeah.
with all the waifus.
But like there's so many connections and so much like payoff from later on where you're like you'll see someone on the side of the road, you'll go help them and like you'll save their mom or something like that, and then you're like and I'm making this up, but like this is kind of what you'll see. And then like 30 hours later you'll see them across the map and you'll see them like as a whole family or something like that and say, hey, thanks for saving us and did all this and this and this. Like it pays off that way.
Okay.
But there's just like really good moments like that too. And I'll say there's a big payoff in this one side mission where like you'll help this old man and he has his horse and like you'll help him all the way through this and then eventually he passes away and just leaves his horse to you and now you can inherit that horse and like for a lot of players that became their horse. Like that was like, all right, that's me, and it had its own name and like you treated that thing as like your best friend, right? Like you're like, all right, me and this guy are just like roaming through and doing this thing all together, and it's like in honor of that guy, that old man. Like they're like it's like stuff that you build like that.
Gotcha.
I named my horse John Bon Pony.
Good name. I did end up whatever my horse was. I stuck with the old man's at the end, which made the ending like the whole storyline for that was like, oh, there's a lot. There's a really good moment. I saved the music for it. The music is incredible also.
Yeah.
But like there's one like where you have to go back and like it's putting through a montage of stuff and it's got this song playing in the background. You're like, oh man, we're building up, dude. I want to play that game again. That game was so good. Game was so good. I think that game got robbed, honestly. Like that one deserved game of
Yeah,
the
it
year.
really sucks too also because I feel like GTA Online really kind of like overshadowed it in like the support area.
Yeah.
Like it really kind of got shafted like after release. Like they kind of did the bare minimum that they had to for like updates, balance patches, and like even Red Dead Online too. Kind of like got minimal.
Well, it's funny because there's even more stories coming out lately of like how much the devs have said, yeah, no, we wanted to do even more story stuff for GTA 5, and we were told, no, just focus on GTA Online. There's no money in doing the story stuff. Only do GTA Online.
So I mean, like honestly,
which
think of it like that too. Like this game is like bucking that trend so much that Rockstar just didn't want to go back to it because it was like so isolated and its own thing that they couldn't monetize it further, which
Yeah,
was
they
kind of
couldn't
nice
pour it
though,
out.
right?
Yeah, they tried to. That gold shop was crazy, but no one was biting.
Yeah, same. I feel the same way where Red Dead Online 1 was a lot of fun. I don't give a fuck about Red Dead Online 2.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 1 online was so fucking awesome. It was like that was the Wild West. It was like me and the boys got on some horses. We
We'd hold
found
down
another
a
player.
town. Yeah.
Found another player. Fuck that guy. Kill him. Take his stuff. All right, we're out. So fun. Same thing with GTA 4, dude. GTA 4 was I would always go online in lobbies and I would just go straight for the helicopter and just start taking everyone out. It's great. Now it's a bunch of microtransactions, but what can you do? Anyway, amazing deviation. Did we all say what we played? No, we didn't.
No, we haven't
even
gotten to
started
that
right
yet.
there. Yeah, David,
Hell yeah. So I have some thoughts.
and not THOTS.
No. So I have been playing Persona 3 Reload. I'm in September right now in the game, about halfway through September. And whew, I will say, from a gameplay perspective, it's definitely the best way to play the game. There are some gameplay additions that don't jive with me. They added limit breaks, which is wild to see limit breaks in an SMT game. Because the game needed to be easier somehow. They've also added some other. So what they did with this release is they definitely try to Persona 5 it, which I appreciate. From a storytelling perspective, I love a lot of the additional content because that is one of the things that really sucks with Persona 3, and is part of the reason I never vibed with that game. Is the game's empty. The game is predicated and designed around the idea that in original 3/FES, and even to an extent Persona 3 Portable, it's predicated around the fact that your social links expire over time if you don't keep re-interacting with the characters. So the game is designed around the idea that you're going to be spending your time building up the bonds, having some bonds drop because you're spending more time with other characters, and then spending your time going back and rebuilding up until you get everyone maxed out. Because of that, the game's fucking empty in terms of story. It's very disjointed. They've added a lot of story elements to help fill in some of that emptiness because they've added a lot of quality of life stuff, like the fact that you don't get exhausted exploring Tartarus. You don't have those. Go ahead.
No, no, you haven't played SMT, the new one yet, huh? Vengeance.
No, I haven't played Vengeance yet.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
I've heard some good things, some bad things about what they've changed with that, but Alice has a weird hate boner for cars. That is a meme that seems to be a recurring trend with a lot of their releases as of late. But no, it's one of those things. I think they've done a lot to help improve it from a gameplay perspective. Anyone that says that they prefer the original release because of those mechanics can eat sand. You're fucking wrong. Like, I'm glad you enjoy having your time wasted having to manage that. You're fucking wrong, because that is 80% of Persona 3, and that's why I never got into the game, is because I was constantly having to not dungeon explore. Half of the whole point of the fucking RPG you're playing, to play the fucking RPG, no, I can't do that. Everyone needs a nap. Too tired. And then the other half is, all right, I'm building up these social links to see more story for these characters, but oops. Suddenly, because I hung out with a different character, they're a little mad I hung out with that character. So,
Sounds like high school.
or oh no, I waited. I get that's the concept of it, but it doesn't make for a fun game.
All right, it's funny how how 1-to-1 that translates though.
Does it capture the experience? Yes, but it also feels weird because a lot of the way the story is written, and I feel like they really wanted this to be college-age individuals. The way that they've set up the dorm life, the way that they actively encourage a lot of the characters having like side jobs, or they're kind of going into a lot of things to balance out work and studies. And some of the subject matter that they touch on very much feels like this was meant to be college age, but they were told to do it high school at some point in time. But it's still not a great story. It's very disjointed. It's very empty. A lot of the additional content helps a lot because before you didn't have story elements with your male party members because you couldn't date them. So what the fuck was the point? So they didn't get anything, which is part of the reason people love Persona 3 Portable as well, because they do a flip side.
Right.
Because you're playing a female protagonist, you get story time with the male characters. Then you just don't get story time with the female characters unless you play the male side. So there was a lot more extra story that way. They rectified this they gave everyone hangout days. And so a lot more time to kind of enjoy the characters. For as much as Persona 3 stands say that, oh, Persona 4 and 5 are just retreads of the same characters we had in 3. No, they're not retreads. Persona 3 is the first draft. Persona 4 is your second draft. Persona 5 is the final draft that you hand in. Because, yes, there's a lot of one-to-one parallels for the cast. Junpei in 3 is very much Ryuji in 5. But you know what the difference is? Fucking Ryuji's likable. Ryuji isn't a fucking Titanic one-note piece of shit. He actually has some emotional depth. Like, he's still the butt monkey. He's still comedic relief. But he doesn't make you want to just be like, no, we can just leave him behind to die of the shadows, right? Like, we don't actually need this man. And that's...
So with how they do the hangouts and stuff, do you think that's a good substitution for having like the individual story? With
Kind of. I mean, it makes up for the absence of it, but again, because of how disjointed 3 is, 5 to use 5 as a comparison, because it's the obvious comparison, because that's basically what they were trying to do with Reload, is to make it more like 5. 5 is specifically written around the idea that you have one single overarching story that layers into all the little stories that are going on. Everything comes back to the main story that's happening. Even to the point that all of your characters and your interactions, everyone in some way is impacted either by the direct involvement of the main story or by the side stories that then lead into the main story. 3 is not written like that. You don't even meet the primary antagonist of 3 until halfway through the game, really.
Technically, I mean, you don't really meet the... I mean, you meet the antagonist, right? But, like...
You meet the antagonist technically in the very beginning of 5, but still, everything that happens within 5 rolls into that narrative. That's not the case with 3. And seeing it... I've read... I know how 3 ends. I know the story of 3. I've read the story of 3. Actually playing it is fucking a slog, because you go through, you have all these disjointed kind of story beats, and then you just have like this ocean of nothing in between it. And even the character hangouts that you get, they're so quick and rapid fire. It's usually like maybe a paragraph of text, and then you move on with your day. And also made worse by the fact that in Persona 3, you don't get anything out of the social links other than the narrative story of it, and of course, like, the mechanic of, oh, your persona gets a few extra levels by having a higher persona ranking. But it's not like 5 where you get neat new gameplay mechanics and toys by leveling up, and thus also encouraging and the desire to keep meeting and interacting with these people. I'm doing it because it's a chore. Because, like, well, I need some kind of fucking story. Give me one, please. And that's my only engagement with them. And I don't know. I just... It's definitely the way I would recommend people experiencing it, but, like, actually sitting down and going through Persona 3 in earnest, I don't like it. I really don't. I don't understand the appeal of it. I do think that there are some characters that are fun. I like Sonata, I like Mitsuru. Koromaru is wonderful. But at the end of the day, like, half the cast is horrible and unlikable. There really is no cohesion in terms of, like, the overarching story and the mini stories. Like, up to the point that I've gotten. Like, the way they present the story to you initially is like, all right, see that giant fuck off tower? Shadows come out of that. We got to go stop them because, I don't know, they're there and we don't want anything bad to happen. So go fight them. And that's basically your narrative, is like, I don't know, there's something to go fight. Let's go fight it. Okay. And then partway through, one of your characters like, okay, but why are we doing this? This is dumb. Why are we risking our necks? I feel like you're taking advantage of us. And everyone's like, I mean, we don't really know why, but we know that we're the only ones that can stop this. And it's like, no, that's stupid. I was like, what the fuck do you mean, no, that's stupid? You have the power to stop them. Either fucking go off, do your own thing. No one's keeping you here. They've already introduced like a couple characters that were with the main party and said, nah, fuck it, we're good, and left. No one's keeping you here. Why? And that's my big frustration with the writing in this, is like, every so often they have like an internal party conflict, but it's not helped because no one's fucking really friends in this game. Like the internal party conflicts that happen in 5 have a weight to them, because the whole point of 5 is that like you make your small group of friends, the group of friends expands, everyone feels like equals. Yeah, Joker's the leader, but they all come to terms pretty quick. Like, all right, we're gonna act as a team, we're gonna act as friends.
They feel like
we all have
they
to
feel
kind
like
of
a
be
group that you're like
yes.
genuinely always hanging out with.
Yeah, they make you feel both in terms of gameplay mechanics and in terms of how the story progresses that everyone is an equal.
Whereas in Persona 3, it felt like everyone's coworkers.
Yes. Again, part of the reason why I feel like it was meant to be a fucking college age game. But yeah, I'm not vibing with it. And also, I'm gonna say this right now. Shuffle time is one of the worst fucking mechanics ever. Anyone that stands Persona 3 and Persona 4 needs to fuck right on off, because that alone is reason to not like those games. RNG is bad enough. It's a part of RPGs, though.
I'm gonna feed my cat, so keep going.
All right,
go off.
RNG is bad enough, but we understand as RPG players, you're gonna have some RPG. But to have RNG stacked into RNG like fucking loot box level bullshit. All right, I'm gonna go through and Kels, have you played 3 and 4 at all by chance?
No, 5.
Okay. So this is how mechanically you get items and money and experience and all kinds of anything, basically anything you do to interact with the game world and level your characters and make your party better. As you play the game, what will happen is that you beat an enemy. It's a randomized chance to get a shuffle time. So the only thing guaranteed after the end of a fight is some XP. That's it. But a shuffle time is how you actually get rewards. So just simply beating enemies is not guaranteed you're going to get a shuffle time. Now what happens if technically you can kind of like force the shuffle time if you specifically end a fight with an all-out attack. But even then, there are some fights that are programmed to not give shuffle times. So it's still not a guarantee. Anyways, so let's say that, you're not good at getting all-out attacks, or you're doing those fights where they're just programmed not to give you shuffle time. All right, so it's RNG to potentially get rewards for the fight. But then on top of that, the rewards are RNG as well. So the way shuffle time works is there's basically each 10 floors of Tartarus, because it's like a 200 floor dungeon. For every 10 floors, there's a stack of rewards that has a chance of appearing in shuffle time. And the amount of cards you get is also random. It can be 2 to 4 cards that appear in shuffle time. And what rewards those are random. So for instance, money's not a guaranteed thing from battles. So if you need money, I in the fucking beginning of the game, I grinded fucking Tartarus for like 5 hours just because money wasn't appearing in shuffle time. I was getting XP, I was getting fucking healing for my party, I was getting the same 8 personas over and over again. Fucking wasn't getting money. So your money, your persona, your drops, and healing, all RNG on top of the RNG to even get to the reward system. Fucking dumb. I hate it. It's the worst fucking system ever. And I think anyone that stands those games with its shitty fucking shuffle time system has never actually played a good fucking game in their life. So yeah, I'm not liking 3. I'm gonna finish it. Just so I can at least say I have finally finished and played through a version of 3. But I think anyone that actually stands 3 is either looking at the game through insane nostalgia goggles or genuinely just has a weird fucking hatred of 5 and feel like they need to vindicate their enjoyment of 3 by hating everything else aside from 3. I don't know. Not a good fucking game.
I could see someone not liking 5 just because of how rompy it is to have your friends there, but at that point, then you want to go to SMT then?
Yeah, and you should. And don't get me wrong, 5's not flawless, especially base 5. Base 5 had its pacing problems.
Royal's
as well.
Pretty close though. Royal's pretty close.
Royal's damn fucking close to perfect. The only thing I will give 3 credit for is it does what I think 5 should have done, and that I'll leave it at that. But that's the only thing I'll give Persona 3, and maybe that's why people liked it, is because it was Baby's first game where not everyone comes out okay. So I still think that's what they should have done with 5. I still think Ryuji should have died, but at the end of the day, I don't get why this game is as loved as it is. I don't.
Fair. All right.
All right, that's what I played.
Kels.
More Elden Ring. This time the DLC though. Very fun. Like I said, not as hard as people are bitching and moaning about. Just as hard as I'd probably expect from Elden Ring's DLC, you know. But great game. Lots of fun.
Right.
Lot more Berserk like influences to it too, I feel like.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah. 100%. RIP the GOAT.
All right.
I ain't get caught up on the last few chapters still.
Well,
Yeah, I'm still working through it. I've been slowly collecting all the deluxe bindings of it, and just as I read it, I'll finish one, get the next one, read it, finish it, get the next one.
I wanted to get those, but man, 40 is so fucking steep with
you could
how many there
you
is
can
to
find
get.
them on like for like
Yeah,
25 occasionally. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
I've been-
War 64.
Yeah, I've been trying to game it, and usually I can get them for about 20, 25 whenever I find them on
The
deals.
25
That's
is
not
a,
terrible.
25 is a good deal for the quality of those books.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for the
that's what I was
quality and
thinking.
for how much there is, 25 is like the perfect.
Yeah,
That's- you
point
guys-
for me.
I had a friend that worked at Barnes Noble, so he just hooked me up with that 50% off, which was pretty much that deal.
Yeah.
But
I've hit that deal up too. Sometimes they'll have that deal going on.
right.
Get shit half off.
Bite the bullet though and get them because man, they look so good on a shelf, dude. Put those things on a shelf.
Yes, they
Oh, it looks
do.
fucking spicy up there. It's good stuff. I need to do that too eventually. I just don't. I don't. I get home. I don't. Whenever I like sit down and like want to vegetate, I just don't want to do anything of substance. I just like put on a YouTube video that I've had to like sit in there for a while, or probably something new, which is unfortunate because like I never there's a backlog on YouTube, but it never gets done because like there's new shit all the time.
Yeah.
But
See, my thing is like whenever I like sit down to read or something, like I'll binge. Like
Yeah.
I'll just start reading, and then like 3 hours later, I'm like, oh shit, I had stuff I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that's me. Generally, if I'm reading something, unless it's like really long, I try to go through it in 1, maybe 2 settings if it needs the extra time.
yeah, I need to do that too. I've been taking advantage of that library card, so I need to do more of that.
Yeah.
I think I got John Dies at the End for audiobook. I need to go through that too. Anyway, we're almost at 2 hours and it's kind of late. I don't think there's anything big of news that we should talk about unless you guys are really dying to like go through something.
Game Pass more expensive.
Yep.
What else you need to know?
Soul Calibur probably never happening.
Womp womp.
Yeah,
And
there was
Racer Group getting rid of more studios.
there's a really good post from Harada talking about the differences of Soul Calibur and how there was a point where like Soul Calibur could have really been the Tekken of now, but like just little things along the way just didn't work out for their end. But it was cool to see the rivalry inside of Bandai Namco between Harada and I forget the lead of Soul Calibur. Talk about how like we didn't like each other. We were like cordial and we're cool now, but like we were just cordial and that's about it. But like we didn't like each other, and that's why we were always competing at each other for the ideas of our games. But Tekken's the one that won out on that end.
You know, it's really cool to see like all the licensing shit that they're able to get done too, right? Because
Yeah.
they were kind of early to the punch doing that with Soul
Spawn.
Calibur 2.
Yeah.
With
Spawn,
those
Link,
Heihachi
and
models.
Heihachi.
Yeah.
Heihachi wasn't that hard to get for sure, but Spawn and Link for sure. Like, damn, that's weird.
And I mean, even after that, they got Darth Vader and Yoda,
Darth Vader,
Yeah.
Yoda, Ezio,
Star Killer.
Ezio,
Uh,
Altair,
2B.
2B, Geralt was in that
Yep.
one too.
Yeah.
What a cool series, though.
Oh, Hanamaru as well from
Yeah.
Samurai Showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. We don't really need to talk about news. I guess there's nothing much going on. So let's just leave it at that. We will be back next week.
Also, actually, one last thing, real quick. Shout out to Sam Riegel. He is battling throat cancer. Best wishes to him.
Hmm.
Kick its ass. I don't know what I'll say.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back next week. And we'll see how this game's gone by idea. We'll shuffle around and see what we gotta do for that. But we'll figure it out.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Stream. If anyone's watching, goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.